of kings. Let one of your knights try to land a blow against me. Indulge me in this game.
A big conceit of this movie is the concept of honor. If Gawain goes on this quest, he'll be honorable. Like that's the idea. But actually saying it out loud makes you realize that like that's a ridiculous premise. You know, like that's a false tenet, I guess. Where do you think that he learned that idea, and when do you think it sort of falls apart for him?
I think very early on. You know, I think he romanticizes this quest, this nightly quest that he's seen all these amazing greats at his table go on. And straight away he's, you know, stripped of all of his riches and his sword and his horse by these scavengers, and he's kind of left to face nature alone, you know, and it's a trial by nature in a way. Yeah, it is. It's kind of this, it's dealing with these issues of, you know, legacy and ambition and, you know, at what cost, you know, and I could draw a lot of parallels to that, you know, as an actor in this industry in terms of like, you know, what are you really doing it for? And, you know, the sacrifices you must make and what does it mean at the end of the day? You know, David explained it to me in the most beautiful way when we first spoke. He's like, this is a story about a young man's journey to integrity, which I thought was really an amazing way to put it.
Joel, your character, the Lord, is a bit of an enigma. Like when I was watching it, I'm like, I don't know if he's real, not real, like what's going on here. How would you describe him and like what, you know, as much as you can say what's going on there?
Well, you know, when we meet these characters, they seem very much real, but there's this open possibility that they are either reincarnations of the Green Knight himself as a sort of a reminder of the challenges of integrity and the challenges of the quest, or they're figments of our imagination or Gawain's imagination. It's definitely an enigma. I found myself relating to him as a person that I've met many times in my life, that slightly older figure that's sort of welcoming on one hand, but duplicitous in some way that you can't quite put your finger on. Is this a friend or a foe or both? And, you know, I found the characters that Alicia and I play in that section of the film sort of very intriguing, very a really interesting sort of challenge. You know, there's a danger and yet a welcoming to it in the same breath.
Mm. Yeah, it's a little creepy. A little bit. I mean, what can I say?
What do they call when they creep?
I mean, not as much as I would for the Underground Railroad, which I think you're like a full dirtbag there. So, you know, it's a little bit of a different story.
I play very dirtbag.
Dev, there's this film fan site called Super Yaki, and they made these t-shirts. They've dubbed it the Summer of Dev or Dev Patel Summer. How are you celebrating Dev Patel Summer, and how would you like everyone else to celebrate?
Wow. Guys, that's crazy.
Look it up.
I'm celebrating the summer by being in rainy Adelaide right now. I'm editing a film in a garage. That's how I'm celebrating.
Whoa, party. Get those margaritas and popsicles and you're gonna rage it out. Well, you gotta get one, so I just told you now. Like, you gotta hit them up about those proceeds too. Like, you gotta, you know, figure that out.
Are you ready?